Hello everyone, so in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I do my winged liner. I tend to wear liner pretty much any time I wear makeup except for work most of the time. So I do get asked sometimes as to, how I do it. Another question I get asked a lot is why I do my eyes before I do my face makeup, which I kind of explain in the video. But basically, the way I do my eyeliner, I do get some fallout on my cheeks, and I just find it's a bit of a pain to have to wipe off my foundation and then reapply it because it tends to go a little bit cakey and patchy. Sorry about the squeaky chair. So I just find it a lot easier just to do my eyes first. That's pretty much the way I've always done my makeup anyway. I feel like it's pretty simple. You just need to find the technique that suits you most and then go from there. Also as well, finding products that work for you definitely helps out. So if you want to find out how I do my eyeliner, then please just keep watching. So I've just started out with a very simple kind of eyeshadow look, and then I'm going to go ahead and add my wing liner. I definitely prefer gel liners over liquid liners, but I know that other people feel the complete opposite than I do. So I would just go to, like Boots or Superdrugs or, your local drugstore or whatever, and just get a couple of different eyeliners just to see what you like. I've talked about this before. This is the Maybelline Lash and Drama Black Shock Liner. I absolutely love this liner. I don't use it with the applicator, which is like the Benefit eyeliner applicator, but I just use it because of the product inside. I do really want to try the Pot Maybelline gel liner, but I'm scared that it's not going to be the exact same formula. So if you've tried both and you think they're exactly the same, then please let me know. And then if you decide to go ahead and use gel liner, there are a few different brushes that you can use. My favourite kind of brush to use is an angled brush. I just find it so much easier. Some people use brushes like just a normal long thin brush. You can get so many different, these are all different angled brushes. I think I've got one more. So you can get loads of different angled brushes from, pretty much anywhere. The reason that I like this Lauren Luke one so much is just because it's so thin. I definitely think that's something that you should look for, is a thin brush. What I'm going to do now is I'll zoom in and I'll show you exactly how I do my liner. So one of the first things you need to kind of think about is what you want to do with your liner, like how you want to make it change your eye shape, if you want it to change it at all. If you've got really downturned eyes on the outer corner, then you'd want to bring up your liner a little bit higher, whereas if you've got quite upturned eyes, you'd want to bring it down a little bit lower, and that will counteract that for you if that's something that you'd want to do. If you've got eyes that are quite close together, I wouldn't put the liner right to the inner corner, but then if you've got quite wide set eyes, then I would put it right into the inner corner, and that will just help bring them in slightly. The main thing that I want to achieve when I do my liner is just to round my eyes off a little bit, because I feel like my eyes are quite long but they're not very rounded. So that's something that I tend to do when I do my liner. So what I do is I take my liner, twist it up a few times to get a decent amount of product, and I just take a lid which I've just cleaned, and then I just pop that onto the lid. And then what I do is I just take the brush and I just flatten it. So I basically put the product on either side and then just take off any excess product on the side of the lid, and then you find that the brush will go really thin. So generally what most people say is when you do your wing, you should follow your bottom lashes as if they would continue up here, and that's where you should do it. I would just say practice. Just do, on one eye do like one kind of angle, and then on the other eye do a different angle. You will probably find that most of the time anyway your liners aren't exactly the same. I feel like, unless they're horrifically different, I don't normally tend to bother changing anything. Another thing that you can do is use some tape. I would use something like micro porous tape, just because it's not as sticky as like sellotape. Just pop it onto the back of your hand and then put it on your eye. The only thing I don't really like about using tape is I feel like I can't see the finished look as well as when I just do it freehand. But if I'm spending a lot of time doing my eyeliner, I do tend to use tape, but I wanted to show you without because I do find it quicker to do it without. That's just my opinion. You might find it easier to do tape, in which case I would do that. The way I do it is I hold my brush so that the longer bristles are closer to my eye, and then the shorter ones will be where the wing goes. And basically what I do is I almost rest it on my bottom waterline close my eye and just flick the line up like that. I don't worry about the length of it at the moment. I don't even really worry if it's too neat. I just want to get my initial line. So before I go ahead and like fill that in and everything, I will do the same thing on the other side. And this is obviously when, you know, you'll be able to see if you've got the same effect. So again, I kind of rest it on there, close my eye and just drag the line up. So as you can see, I've done this one a lot shorter than that one. So you can, if you want to, just kind of go over it like that. So then I just tend to look in the mirror and think, do they look different? This one is slightly rounded, it's not as straight, but I can fix that when I start to fill it in. The best thing I think to do is just do it step by step. If you do it step by step, you'll be able to see why they're different quicker and you'll be able to fix it a lot quicker. So I don't want, because this is quite a, you know, just a soft day-to-day kind of look, I don't want my eyeliner to go out too far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brush with the longer side this time on the outside, and I'm not going to take it all the way to the top of the line. I'm probably just going to leave a tiny bit, and I'm just literally going to close my eye and just drag the brush across like that. So you can see that I've got my wing and I've got my initial shape. So it's a fairly thick line, which is okay because once I've got mascara and everything like that on, it'll be fine. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to try and go as high as I did on my other eye. And again, close my eye and just drag it across like that. So you basically, what I do is I just do like the outer, the sort of outside line and then just fill it in. And then for my inner corner, I take the longer side, just put it right where my lashes start and just kind of twist the brush so it meets that line. So as you can see, it's really rounded out the shape of my eye. And then again, I just mimic it on the other side. So I'll just put it in like that. I do tend to prefer a thicker line on me. I just feel like it suits my eyes a lot more. Obviously I do sometimes do quite a thin liner. Now what I'm going to do is I pack on quite a lot of product when it comes to filling in my liner, and I'll just very gently pull my eye and I start to fill it in from the wing, and then I turn my brush again so the longer end is near my eyes and I just flick it up the outer corner, and then I filled in my wing. And then I can just close my eyes and just fill in the rest. I just want to get most of it filled in because I do go over it with eyeshadow, which will just help smooth out any patchy bits, or it will help to fix any like wonky lines. If you struggle with your liner because you've got really hooded eyes, if you have your eye open whilst you're doing your eyeliner as much as possible, you'll be able to see how it looks, because when you close your eye, your eyeliner will look one way, but then when you actually open it, it looks completely different. So I just bear that in mind if you've got hooded eyes. So I just want to round this off just a little bit more. Now I'm just going to do the same thing on this eye. Now that I've filled in the line, I'm going to take a black eyeshadow. I like to use a black eyeshadow that's as pigmented as possible. This is Blackout, which is in the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette. I love this black eyeshadow, it's probably my favourite. And you can take any brush. I'm just going to take another angle brush, this one's slightly thicker. I'm just going to pack on. This is why I do my eyes first, by the way, because normally when I do this bit, I end up with black all under my eye. Pack on as much as possible, just tap off a tiny bit of excess, and I just literally push the shadow onto my liner. And you'll find that not only does it smooth it out, but it just makes it look so much blacker. And you can get right into your lash line as well, which just helps hide any gaps if you've got any. So if you're wearing false eyelashes, perfect. And I'll just flick it up so you can see I've got some black fallout, and I'll just do the same thing on the other eye. Very often as well, if I need to fix my eyeliner, I'll probably just do it with a bit of eyeshadow. I find if I don't set it, it does transfer to the top of my eyes. Now I just take a wipe and just wipe off any excess shadow. Sometimes as well, if you find that your eyeliner's not gone exactly how you want it to go, you could just take a wipe and just clean it up with the wipe, and it's so much easier. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish off the rest of my makeup, and then I'll be right back. So I've finished up all my makeup, and this is how it looks. I love doing winged eyeliner with pretty much any look that I do, unless I'm going for something else in particular. I just think that it can really make your eyes stand out, and you know, it can go all year round. It just looks good. If I ever am unsure of what to do, I know that I can just do some eyeshadow, pop on some winged liner, and then kind of work from that. I do it slightly differently when I'm wearing false eyelashes, but I'm going to be doing a video soon about how I apply false eyelashes, so I'll run through that when I do that video. I really hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If there's any more requests of any videos like this that you want me to do, then just be sure to leave them in the comments down below. Be sure to give this a thumbs up if you did like it, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!